What's up, y'all? It's Ty. In this video today, we're going to be going over our top 10 budget cards right now in NBA 2K25 MyTEAM. Now, I do want to say this, all of these quote-unquote budget cards are right around that 20,000 MT mark, and I don't know, maybe that's too high for you guys when it comes down to budget cards, but I feel like below 20,000, it's pretty tough right now in the game. Now, all of these cards are cards that I don't mind whatsoever, are cards that I think you can play that will help you guys out at a really high level on this game. So that's going to be what we talk about in this video. And at the end of the day, guys, a lot of this game is preference based. So just because I like a card doesn't mean you'll like a card. And just because you like a card doesn't mean I like a card. But comment your favorite budget card down below in the comments to maybe help somebody else out. Coming in at my number 10 is a card that I've had mixed feelings about over the course of the last month or so. And that's Hibbert. Here's the deal. He's 7'2". So, I mean, that's where I feel like I've got to start with Hibbert. He's absolutely massive on the court. Now, with that being said, he doesn't really have good speed. That 47 speed is crazy. 73 ball is actually fine. Like, you can green shots pretty consistently with the card, but I just don't know if he gives you enough to be higher than number 10. I do have him at number 10 because he can play and compete against some of the other best bigs on this game. It's just the fact that he has that 47 speed, I believe that's what it is, that I just can't get past. 7'2", can shoot the ball, plays good defense, but he is just too slow to be any higher. Coming in at my number 9 is a card that I used probably about a month or two ago in the Diamond Keith Van Horn. Now, I will say this. The more I, look at some of these budget cards, the more I come back to this Keith Van Horn as being a solid card to pick up for your squad. 93 ball, 84 speed, solid defensive stats across the board. He's 6'10", comes with one of the silkiest, smoothest releases on the entire game. The only reason Keith Van Horn is not higher on this list is the fact that, guess what? He doesn't have very many badges. 17 base badges is not great, is not ideal for Keith Van Horn. So that's really what I'm looking at with Keith Van Horn. I think the card is absolutely incredible. He's such a complete card in this game. It just comes down to I wish the card had more total badges and he would be a little bit higher. Coming in at my number 8, we're plugging in a newer diamond in Matt Harpring, 6'5", 6'11" wingspan at that shooting guard position. Now, when I look at Matt Harpring, here's what I see. 92 3 ball. You can get by with that 86 speed, solid defensively. And to me, there's just no flaws in the card. Default swing release. It's not necessarily, my favorite release, but it's a really, really, really good release on this game. Same release that Cedric Maxwell did have. And again, is a solid release that you can use and should lead you to a lot of success. So, I mean, again, this card is best at shooting the basketball, but even beyond that, he gives you something, right? Like, he plays a little defense. He's going to be decently lengthy at that shooting guard position, can play small forward if you want. And at the end of the day, he's going to be one of the cheaper cards on this entire list because he came out in the 'Tis the Season set, which everybody in that set is pretty cheap at this stage. Coming in at my number 7, we're plugging in a card that came out a very, very, very long time ago. And that card is Harrington. Only a 93 overall, which is kind of crazy. Like, when I'm looking at some of these top cards, he's only a 93 overall. Guess what? He's maybe the most complete option on this entire list. 93 ball, 85 speed, defensive stats, perfect. Like, what more can you want at the power forward position? His release is absolutely chicken, super quick, super easy to get off, plays great defense. Do you wish Harrington had more Hall of Fame badges? Absolutely. But that's not enough, in my opinion, to dissuade me from him being on this list. Obviously, again, a lot of these cards are preference based, but I'm telling you, if you get Harrington, you got a complete power forward in this game for super, super, super cheap, and you cannot beat that for his price. Coming in at my number 6, we're plugging in the Diamond Doug Christie card, 6'6", 6'9" wingspan. Edge-wise, okay, but look at the defensive stats of Doug Christie. 93 perimeter, 93 steal, comes with Hall of Fame, immovable, interceptor, on-ball menace, has the 88 3-ball, knocks down shots at a high level. Look, for me, Doug Christie is never going to be the top shooting guard on the game, but if you want a shooting guard to go out there and compete, Doug Christie is going to do that at an insanely, insanely high level. So when I'm looking at, again, the top shooting guards in the game, Doug Christie has to be mentioned when it comes down to budget options at that position. Definitely a card to pick up that you can use and have a ton of success with on the floor. Back in our top 5, the center, Deandre Ayton. Look, I was trying to look at the diamond centers on that I could feature in the budget video, and there weren't a ton of them. So I went with the Amethyst Deandre Ayton, and honestly, I'm glad I did, because this card is an absolute beast. If you are in need of a center to play and, again, compete with those top guys, your option is Deandre Ayton. You know, if you're really struggling when it comes down to MT-wise, I would pick up Deandre Ayton and then grind for the Galaxy up with David Robinson. That's personally what I would do. Now, again, along the way, you could get some solid options. Like I think there is a free Jermaine O'Neal card that you guys can grind for. Obviously, the D-Rob that I mentioned, I think there's been a Jack Sigma. There's been other options for you guys. But if you just need a guy off the auction house, I think Ayton is your guy. Hall of Fame paint controller, rise up, shoots the ball pretty well, has a couple of hot spots, love his release. And again, defensively, he is going to hold it down. So no, he's not a diamond, but he is Deandre Ayton, who is really, really solid on this game. Coming in at my number 3, we've got AC Green. Now, I guess you could say, well, Ty, AC Green is a center, but I would definitely recommend you playing AC Green at that power forward position. I think that's where he's going to be at his best. 83 ball, 84 speed, perfect defensively. The best part about this AC Green card is the fact that he's got that Devin Booker release. You can't, you can't make up for that. Like if somebody has that type of a release, you can't say, oh, well, Ty, he's only got 19 badges. Look, I get it. Stat-wise, badge-wise, he's honestly kind of mediocre. Like his stats defensively are pretty good. Again, badge-wise, very, very, very mediocre for AC Green, but comes with that Devin Booker release, which is a release you should literally never miss with. If you're missing with AC Green, you need to look in the mirror because the card has a chicken release on this game. Super silky. You could never miss with him. At my number 3, we're plugging in Diamond PJ Brown. Came out in the Knockdown Night set. Now, I don't know if I would describe PJ Brown as being knocked down. Like again, his 3-ball is only a 73. But with what he gives you defensively, with being 6'11", you can't beat it. Is he better than Deandre Ayton? I'll leave that up to you. I think Ayton badge-wise probably has the slight edge. Maybe. No, he doesn't. Like PJ Brown overall is the better option in my opinion. I do think it's close though, and I have to pay respects to Deandre Ayton. Coming in at my number 2, we've got Boris Diaw, a diamond card that came out not too long ago. Now, I want to start with this. Boris Diaw is only 6'8". Now, the reason I want to start with that is because at the power forward position, that's not super tall. It's not badge-wise, stat-wise. It is tough to beat what Boris Diaw does. He's got a 90 plus in nearly every stat that we care about. Like, how do you beat the stats and badges of Boris Diaw? Simply put, you don't. The only reason Boris Diaw can't be higher is because he has the Nicholas Batum release. A pretty poor release on this game that, again, can you have success with it? Somewhat, right? It's greenable, but it is on the slower side of things. But I'm telling you right now, if you do need a power forward to play this game, Boris Diaw is 100% your guy in NBA 2K25 MyTEAM. And coming in at my number 1, the best budget card right now in NBA 2K25 MyTEAM is the Diamond Marcus Smart. 6'4", 6'8" wingspan, 86 3-ball, 94 speed, defensively off the charts good for Marcus Smart. And again, for me, I need a point guard that can play defense. That's where it all starts. If you don't have a point guard that is going to get you consistent stops, you don't have a team. Like, you need a point guard that's going to play defense. That's what Marcus Smart's going to do. Now, with Marcus Smart, I'd try to run a shooting guard that can go get you a bucket because that's not what Marcus Smart's going to be best at. But he is going to knock down shots. Good release, 86 3-ball. And again, with his defense, you don't need a whole lot more out of the card. For me, Marcus Smart is a perfect point guard, especially for his value in NBA 2K25 MyTEAM. Let me know your thoughts on this top 10 budget cards. Who was I too high on? Who was I too low on? And who did I miss out on? I did try to keep this below 20,000 MT, so if any cards are really good for their price, but over that 20,000 MT mark, they may not be featured in this video. That's going to wrap it up. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, and as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.